I've got 2.5 acres in Grand Marais, Minnesota. This has Lake Superior views. This is a really cool property north of Duluth, close to Lutsen Mountain. And again, it does offer Lake Superior views. My name is Miles McLaughlin. I'm going to go through this listing in a video for you. I'm going to cover FAQs. I'm going to talk about common questions. I'm going to talk about access, where, the easement, the driveway that exists to the property, and share a little bit more about the background of the property with you. So just clicking through some of the photos, I just got a photographer out here. You can see that standing on the property, this is ground level. You've got some awesome views of the lake, right? Think about a barn dominium or even a second-story log cabin out here in northern Minnesota, looking over at the Great Lakes, Lake Superior, right? So you don't, again, right here, look at these views. I mean, this is just kind of peekabooing through these trees, but clear some trees, build up. This is a really cool property and has a ton of potential because it does have a gentle slope going upwards, offering, like I said, these are ground level photos of Lake Superior. There's a lot of property for sale in northern Minnesota, a lot of property in the woods for sale. There's not a lot of land where you can stand on your property and have expansive views of Superior. So keep in mind, that's really a huge selling point for this property are these lake views that we're looking at right here. And you're just across the highway from lake access too. So I'll pull the property up on a map. I'll show you exactly where it's located. And again, I'll share a lot more about the property that I know with you and how you can access it. So just wanted to touch on this and start the video out with a disclaimer. This isn't legal advice. This isn't real estate advice. This is me simply sharing my opinion through my research and experience in the industry. So again, a public access site down here. Here's our property. There's an easement to go access it and a driveway that already exists up to the property. The previous owner had used the land basically for a camper site, for storage, storing pontoons, snowmobiles, campers. Who's the target audience of this property? From my opinion, it's going to be somebody who wants to build a cabin, who wants access to Lake Superior, close access to Lake Superior. Behind you is a national forest. National Park is behind you. Mount Lutsen's up here. You've got a golf course up here. So this is a popular area for summer and winter recreation with Mount Lutsen with skiing, and obviously summer recreation up in the Duluth area of Minnesota. So when I think about the potential use and the target audience, this is way up here. I think about folks who maybe want a barn dominium, or a shop, store their sailboats, store their boats, store their fishing gear, their snowmobiles, their UTVs, all that fun stuff, right? And you could even build a little off-grid cabin, a little sleeper spot for the night. There's not going to be a lot of restrictions up in this area, up in northern Minnesota. The other target audience is going to be, I want a sweet cabin. I want a cabin the family can go spend the holidays at. I want, to build a nice log cabin in Minnesota with views of the lake. That's another potential idea of why you'd buy something like this. Another target audience is, hey, I just want a camping site. I want a land investment that's going to appreciate over time. I want a place I can potentially build on someday. I could potentially just use as storage right now, lay some gravel down, use it for storage, use it for camping, put some tiny homes back there, or put a yurt back there. That's all possible too. So you can camp on this property. Like I said, there's a lot of ways you can look at this land investment and a lot of different directions you can go with it. So on the surface, all of that's going to check out. So again, we're going to be talking about Lutsen. Again, these are the Lutsen Mountains here. You've got golf courses. The Voyager Highway up here on Highway 61 is going to be a world-class highway. You're going to see resorts up and down. And you can look at photos. If you're not from the area and you want to buy something sight unseen, this is what northern Minnesota is going to offer. It's a beautiful area. If you haven't been, if you're just looking for a land investment up in northern Minnesota, take a peek hop on Google Maps. You can do this from the comfort of your home. The fall colors out here are beautiful. The hiking in Superior National Forest is beautiful. The recreation up here is abundant between skiing, lake access, and again, hiking, right? If I pull it up on Onyx Maps, which I'll do here in a minute, and I'll pull the property up on Google Earth to show you what we're looking at. But the general location is just awesome, right? And so enough of talking about the area. You can go on Google and you can look that up anytime on your own. Just zoom in a little bit. You're going to see trail systems. You're going to see trailheads. You're going to see, different landing points, popular areas for people that go for recreation. They're uploading photos to Google. This is all public information. This is cool. So again, we'll look into more of this at the end of the video. I'll show you popular attractions nearby. I want to dive into access first and foremost and talk about that. So number one, I want to talk about, deeded access. So I have that right here. So if we go through the warranty deed of the property, we've got the legal description. We're government lot 3, section 14, township range. It's all right there, and you can read through this. I'll share this on the website for anybody who wants to read through it, or just ask us. We can share it with you. But along with that legal description describes an easement, a perpetual, forever, non-exclusive, and appurtenant easement, 20 feet wide and located 10 feet on each side of the center line of an existing driveway running generally north and south direction upon the following described. So this describes what I think is a neighbor's property, right? In our property, right? Together with this easement. So it's recorded with this document number. Let's talk a little bit more about that and what that looks like. So from my understanding through talking with the previous seller, this is going to be that easement driveway. You can see this clear as day on satellite imagery. This is going to take you up generally north and south through this person's property. This is imagery from 2013 though. So keep in mind, properties can get overgrown. People stop using them. So the road as you go up here could start to become a little overgrown. Maybe it needs to be mowed. Maybe you need to lay some gravel down. Just keep in mind, we are actually reaching out to surveyors and excavators and gravel companies, basically driveway guys, to see, get a quote on laying some gravel down and basically improving the driveway and kind of clearing out a better, more visible, area that you could use for camping, parking an RV or even a build site, right? So we are getting some quotes on improving basically the driveway going back there. But for right now, you can access this driveway. This is the easement that heads north and south, and it ends up on the property. So you can see, again, this is imagery from 2013, but you can see the previous owner had driven up onto the property, and there's actually a big open area already. Right here, it looks like, and right here, it looks like. As you go further back, it gets more and more forested, and the elevation rises a little bit. So it's a gentle incline. Again, offering some really world-class views from the property. Our photographer only touched the surface. I mean, he was right here and right here in those open areas. I guarantee it, he didn't get all the way back up here to really see those expansive views of Lake Superior in the area. This is really, if you wanted a long driveway going back here, this section of the property is really going to open up for some pretty world-class views, and really a cool private building location back here in the back of the property. This person's actually was able to, do that with their property, get a road all the way back there. So again, you can pull off to the side of the road here and park in the driveway easement and walk back there. You can drive back there. Again, that easement exists and that easement can't be blocked. So if there's anything in the way of it now, just understand when you buy this property, you have legal rights. Landowners have rights. That's a 20-foot wide easement. You can't park anything in that easement. You can't build anything in that easement. If it's there, it's got to go. That's how easements work. Or you can work with your neighbor on an alternative route. So just keep that in mind. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but I've been doing this long enough where an easement's an easement. It's legal, documented language. So you get back here, you've got some really nice building sites. And quite frankly, the previous owners had a camper, has a vehicle back here, or had a vehicle back here, snowmobiles, a pontoon, it looked like in some of the aerial photos that were sent to me, the drone imagery. So, keep in mind, that's very accessible. That's very ready to use for maybe a yurt or a tiny home or a shop or storage yourself back there right now, right? And camping. So you have tangible use to the property day one, right away. Future use is going to be building and development. You'll have to go through this county and the state, obviously, to get through your septic approval and all that good stuff. Contact a local well driller if you're curious about well depth in the area. Those are all good ways to go about it. So the last thing I want to show you is you can even hop down here and get street views on the property, looking at the driveway. So I can pop down here and get street views. You can see, like I said, right across the street is the water. And then here's some street views heading back into the property. It's really not all that bad. Very, very obvious and tangible driveway that goes back to the property. And that's going to be, the bread and butter of this listing. If I go through Google Earth more, there is more imagery. Anderson's North Shore Resort is going to be right here. Again, if you're out of state, if you're looking for a land investment in northern Minnesota, there's a lot of resources on Google Maps that you can look at. We're going to be one of the most aggressively priced properties out there. If you go on Zillow, we're going to have one of the lowest priced listings on the market. And if you are going to go view the property, the last thing I'd touch on is, use Onyx Maps. This is my favorite app when I do land viewings, because it does show the outline of the property for your viewing. You can see all the property lines as we click in here. I'm using Onyx Maps. When you walk the property, it's a pretty useful app. to go, for your land viewings. You can download it on your phone. I have the upgraded version. You want to make sure you click Minnesota land ownership, private land ownership. And this Onyx Hunt is going to actually outline the property so that you can walk the property and get a really good idea of what it looks like just by using your phone, and this is what I use when I go view properties, and this is what you're looking at. And as you're walking the property, the little dot on your phone is tracking you all over the property, so you can really see that. Again, not a lot else that I have to share on the property. If you watch this video in the listing, there's a really good presentation that our realtor had put together. We have this one listed with a real estate agent too. If you're interested in getting an agent to go out and view the property with you, just let us know and we can get you in touch with our real estate agent. That's going to be the bread and butter of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Give us a call. Check out the homepage if you have interest in other land investments on our website. You can give us a ring here at Wilco Land at 605-299-5553. What we're trying to do is create visibility and bring out these, unique and epic properties to the marketplace. Thanks for tuning in.